I recently watched a video on the YouTube channel Negative Feedback, and it really spoke to me. It was basically the guy who runs the channel called George taking time to shoot video as if it were photographs. And this video really got me thinking about the way that I produce my videos and the Street Journal series in particular. And I suddenly felt like I'd actually been going about street journals in the wrong way. I really wanted it initially to be a sort of third person, potentially have somebody film me, potentially have me film somebody else, going about doing street photography. And I experimented with a mix between vlogging, a mix between GoPro footage, and eventually I just found like all of that was really distracting from the actual element of street photography. So I thought I'd take an element of that video made by George and apply it to a project of my own. So I went out and I produced a video in an evening, and I sort of applied a street photography mindset to it. So as I set about framing my subjects, I thought about how this would feel as if it were a photograph, or in a sort of vice versa kind of way, I would try and frame something that I would usually take a photograph of, but try and convey it in video format. And with that comes added benefits, like you get to hear the sounds, you get to see a bit more movement. And I honestly think that translating photo into video is a really cool exercise. And it was very interesting to see the results that came out of that. So I think the biggest aspect that I want to apply to street journals going forward is showing and not telling. I definitely find it hard to speak to a camera. That is something that I've sort of tried to get over. And weirdly, recently, I've found it even harder to do so. I stumble over my words, I stumble over my lines that I've written, and I generally find it quite hard to sort of produce something that I'm happy with, especially with a Street Journals episode. So I thought what I'll do is I'd strip that all away, and maybe for a short while I will just experiment with showing and not telling. And I think this could be a really interesting way to take street journals in a really interesting direction to sort of go down and just see what comes out of it. I think the big thing for me about video making is experimenting, finding what works and what doesn't, and I think I found something that would potentially work quite well for this channel. There was also something that George mentioned in another video, which is trying to make everything 10% better. So if you're framing up a photo or you're framing up a shot for a video, see if there's any ways that you can make it 10% better. And I thought that was a really interesting exercise, and it's a good way to learn how to improve as a photographer and a videographer. So I think I'm going to stop doing the telling side of this video. I'm going to start showing you what I made that evening. So without any further ado, I really hope you enjoyed the following footage. It's a very sort of cinematic, ambient feel. So like I said, it's just something I'm experimenting with, but I really think you're going to like it. So enjoy.